Alright everyone, we are here with another off-season war. Today we'll be taking in Mr. Negative, Tigra, and Shang-Chi. We'll be taking Path 4 in Section 1 and Path 6 in Section 2. We also have a Maw Boss that I'm going to do some testing on, and a middle mini-boss on Footloose that I'm going to test on. Alright, so nothing new here with this Void on Insult to Injury. Taking Shang-Chi into this fight, we're going to stick to the Cleanse Wushu, the Stun Wushu reset, and then we're going to nuke his existence with SB2. Yeah, nothing you guys haven't seen with me here before. As you know, I don't aggressively build chi charges before dropping a big SP2. So I kind of just use the SP2 with whatever chi charges I have at the moment, and then build to another one if we need it. So this is unboosted, fight's going well. Here's the big SP2. Boom, down he goes. So, super straightforward fight. Alright, this next one, Green Goblin on Power Focus 1 with Bubble Shield. I was kind of nervous about taking this fight, but I fought Green Goblin with Tigra in questing before, and I figured a comfortable way of keeping him pinned against the wall while he fires SB1s. Bubble Shield does make this interesting because in order for me to do my quote-unquote technique, I take the first hit as a blocked hit. So we have to be mindful of that. You see here I'm kind of ending combos trying to get him to use this SB1. There we go. And now we kind of get him in a rotation where he decides to actually throw it. So we're at 5 now, blocked hits. So I am counting through this fight, making sure that when it comes time to actually dex out, which would be at the 10th block hit, or right after it, that we do that instead of block a hit. But going well so far. His reduced combat rate for the attacker is making it harder to get both senses up and then build to a big SB2. But now we have it. We are at 9 blocked hits, and down he went. So, pretty smooth fight. Alright, next up, I've done this fight time and time again. I'm going to take Doom here with Mr. Negative. Might as well use APS1. Going to parry heavy 3 times. Convert the 9 light energy. Build up a little bit more light energy. Convert that right before dropping a big SP2. And as we wait out his aura, since we don't have a Mr. Fantastic Petrify, we're just going to use that time to build more light energy through well-timed blocks. So we're just going to parry him to waste time. See here, I'm baiting out SP1. There we go. Now we're going to kind of just be patient. Let that aura get close to expiring, evade counter into SP2. And then we just let him melt. So we're going to go back to parry heavy. Building a new set of light energy. Convert that. And then go back to parry heavy, and I think this is where we bully him against the wall. No aura to worry about. Yeah, 1 more heavy against the wall and down he'll go. Oh, no, 2 more. So, easy peasy. The next 2 fights are kind of throwaways. Was really just testing things out, but they were bad ideas anyways. This Elsa was hoping she didn't have suicides, and of course, she had suicides. Even if she didn't factor in the part of her shrugging debuffs. And since it's Mix Master and my game plan was to play slow, even if I managed to get slow placed, she'd probably shrug it. So it was just not a good idea. Probably a wasted video here, but thought I'd show it. This next one, again, another throwaway. I was kind of curious to see if Shang-Chi could work around the auto block with his unblockable Wushu. But I think the problem with this was that I can't easily stun to reset, even while unblockable. So the unblockable does not last long enough, I think, just based on AI and her throwing SB1, for me to execute the stun Wushu while I'm unblockable and then throw a heavy reset with her charges up. So you see here, this is kind of a really bad attempt. I missed the timing to reset, finally was able to reset, but at this point she's playing pretty passive. And then I took that blocked hit I did not plan on. I was trying to dex, and then boom, there goes the SB2 into my face. So I didn't feel like that first time I got a really good attempt. It was actually super bad. So like a dummy, I heal up and go back in to try and see if I can get a real attempt. And it's not really that much different. It's a very slow fight. It takes forever to build power. And it's a lot of blocked hits, a lot of tight windows. Oh, and that was the issue actually too. I can't keep the unblockable up, get the slow Wushu, and get the stun Wushu. And we saw in that previous fight, stunning through her block does not work. So it's a pretty unfavorable matchup. So I would not recommend it. And you see, because of her charges, we can't easily reset off a heavy when we retaliate her SB1. So again, just another hoop to jump through. I'm sure Hercules can just nuke this thing, this node. So probably a good option. A lot of your champs, and then SB3 into Oblivion. A lot of your champs that are going to be immune to the power drain from the auto block, like Venom and Venom Pull, aren't going to have any way of dealing with Footloose. So it's kind of like a weighted out scenario, which is going to get you cornered. Unless you strictly stick with hitting into block until the shield's down. Alright, after that we move on to path 6. I'm going to take this Wasp with Shang-Chi. Stun Wushu and slow Wushu are the focus. Obviously we're not going to try and trigger the stun Wushu through her block while she still has the ability to evade. So if the timer's on cooldown and it's not coming back quick enough, then we'll take that as the option. But slow should be up most of the fight, so it's not something we actually have to worry about if she just decides to play passive. So you can see here, fight's going well. Not too difficult of a fight at all. I actually think some crits through the basic attack here are going to finish it. Probably this heavy. Nope. There it is. So, pretty straightforward. Nothing special about that node anymore, if Wasp is on it. Moving on to the second one. Super Skrull. I'm going to take it with Tigra. This fight, she'd really benefit from having Jabari Panther as a synergy, but not a big deal not having it. He doesn't gain any prowess on his own, so he's only going to gain it from the node. So a lot of the node abilities are just avoidable. But you see here, we're kind of baiting out heavies, getting him to throw his heavy and retaliating it with ours, just to build some ruptures. It's too close there. Have the miss coming. We got that heavy in before the miss. Now we're going to go hit his block, trigger the miss. Now we're good. I don't know what I was thinking there. Was not meaning to charge that heavy. It was to block the rock and then charge a heavy. But it's fine. Now we got both senses up. He's pretty much done. Block, heavy, done. So pretty straightforward. He's pretty easy with Tigra. Alright, these next two mini bosses I actually did not have in mind with my team. And then they were still up near the end of war, so I was like, hey, might as well, let's go try it. So Bishop here, my game plan was to block bait heavies and counter his heavy with her heavy, just like that. And I did that recover intercept pretty well, so I was pretty happy with that. Once we've got him in the wall, obviously heavy abuse him. But I did not want him throwing SB1, so once he got over that first bar of power, I wanted to hold block, get him to SB2, and then retaliate SB2. I forgot to dash in on that one before he threw the beam, so that I can have a much better spacing situation there. But it's fine. We saved it. We've got both senses up, and here I was trying, right here, I was trying to wait out, and he decided SB1. I actually dashed back to throw SB2 there, and he got his special in before I could press the button, apparently. So the bad part about that is that now I'm going to take Incinerate when I didn't want to, which is going to make the fight a lot closer than if he's only throwing SB2s. But here we're aggressive. We're ignoring the Incinerates we've got on us. We're just trying to finish him. And this SB2 will do it. So it's actually a pretty good matchup. Just got to practice his SB2. And it's probably a pretty good option. Moving on to Modok here. Now, this was kind of the sense I was having with Peni Parker on Footloose, is that maybe the unblockable buff will help in the rotation to reset everything. But, I mean, she's got a unique auto block compared to Modok here and Overseer from last war. So, Modok, it was just tricky to get him to hold block and keep holding it. So, in retaliating, he'd auto block, and I'd have to be careful about him dexing out after the auto block, and therefore ruining the Wushu combo. So I had to play it slow and make sure I was actually hitting into his block to activate a few of the Wushus I was trying to do. And you see here it goes pretty smooth. Not too bad at all. Again, so stuff like that. I was ending combos short because I was worried he might auto block mid combo and ruin the Wushu dexing out or attacking me. But it's going well. He's gaining a little more power than I'd like, but that's because of the auto block. And I think it's coming up. I take an SB1 because I relied on parry when I shouldn't have. To right here. And then I'm trying to get him after this SB2. It's pretty much over. I'm trying to hit into his block and he intercepts me. So just a little too rushed there at the end. Alright, and then this last one was testing Mr. Negative against the Maw Boss in case we end up with Human Torch or Spider-Man 2099 banned. Tiger actually is an option as well. She's not too bad of an she's quite easy to use against Maw for the most part, as long as you're not playing super aggressive. But we were curious here about how Mr. Negative would do. Figured the light energy would help reduce some of the high ground damage. So it really came down to how well do you retaliate Maw's heavy with your heavy, like that, and how consistent you were about keeping him out of focus. And I found out in duels that I'd actually have to be pretty aggressive about making sure that he was out of focus instead of doing something like knock him out of focus, go back to combos, finish the combo, go back to knocking him out of focus. The downside to that is that it has me heavying a lot, and therefore not cycling my combo very quickly. And you see there, I just messed up in SP1, which results in higher high ground charges. And if you can't keep those off at the start of the fight, like I am here, now that I got knocked down, I have to rush to SP2 before my dark energy falls. But if we don't do a good job keeping the high ground charges off at the beginning, then we have to deal with them after we've placed degen on him, which is just going to speed him up. It's not going to make it like, oh my god, we went from 2 to 6, but it is going to get us to 4 pretty quickly. So the next 1 or 2 get added pretty quickly. You see there, I went over too many light charges, and then boom, we died from high ground blocked hits. So, and that's the difficult part as well. If we're not managing high ground well in the beginning, then we're going to have to block a lot to get the heavy out, and that's going to result in a lot of light energy. So he might not be the best option. Maybe if everybody's banned, we'll take another look at it. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you guys at the next one.